It's occurred to me that I've done a few videos now where I'm trying to talk about the tests of paragraph 79E, and I think we're on about 10 or 12 videos, and I haven't yet got to the tests in the current paragraph 79E. We've covered some of the previous wordings of the policy to get to where we are today, and we've covered the sentence that gets up to the point of bullet point E, but we haven't actually started covering the tests themselves. This video, I thought I'd just start touching on the first test in there, which requires a scheme to be truly outstanding or innovative. Now, because of this introduction of an or, I personally tried to treat this as a spiritual and hopefully that will become clearer in a bit. If you submit a scheme as being innovative, obviously what's first called into question is, what does innovation mean? Some people think of innovation as being doing something that's never been done before, which could also be called pioneering or groundbreaking. But the term groundbreaking, if you know the policy well, appeared once upon a time in PPS 7 version of the policy, but was obviously not continued into the National Planning Policy Framework. So, and the term groundbreaking was an interesting one, because if you were putting something in that was trying to be groundbreaking, if it could show that if you couldn't necessarily show it was going to work, little weight could be afforded to it. The more you could show that it worked, less likely it was going to be groundbreaking, and you got yourself in a muddle. Innovation doesn't mean groundbreaking or pioneering or invention, but it can mean using well-known things, but perhaps in a way that's unusual or less common. We're not trying to make Para 79 schemes, each one of them throw some clever bit of tech at it for the sake of covering a new bit of tech. I'm going to talk another video about a case study example of a technology that we've been developing through a series of buildings that were given consent under PPS 7, paragraph 55 and paragraph 79. And we've been evolving and developing, innovating a series of technologies, and we've got them to a point where they work really well. And on sites where they are applicable, they're a fantastic solution, and they're right to use again. And no doubt we'll continue to find little ways of innovating the scheme and improving on it and understanding more the more we learn about how well the systems work. But there are schemes where that technology is not appropriate. There are schemes where, because of the amount of land, it's just as, it makes sense to, cut down trees and use those to run a house. Nothing innovative about that. But the types of biomass boilers that we're using have moved on, have innovated massively in the last 10 years since we built our house and other houses that we've built. There are lots of little innovations going on, but it misses the point to imagine that you've got to throw some groundbreaking and never been used before piece of tech. That's not what innovation means. And if we relate that back to the or, the other part of the or is truly outstanding. Now, if you submit a scheme as being either truly outstanding or innovative, so let's pop to the other side. If you submit a scheme as being truly outstanding, because of the or, you then move along to the next test and see what you then also have to do, which is reflect the highest standards in architecture. Now you have to achieve that one. Now I'm puzzled as to wonder what the difference is between a scheme that has to reflect the highest standards in architecture and why that wouldn't therefore also be truly outstanding. Nobody's yet been able to explain to me how we distinguish between reflecting the highest standards in architecture and why that wouldn't represent something that would be truly outstanding. That's an interesting little topic in itself, but if you can't distinguish between those two things, then the role of the or in this first test means that innovation actually becomes mute. Because if something has to reflect the highest standards in architecture and would therefore also be truly outstanding, then because of the OR, you don't need innovation. And I don't believe that's the spirit of what paragraph 79 is about. I do think that these types of houses are pushing boundaries, are testing new construction techniques, are pushing the envelope of thermal efficiency, building performance, reducing embodied energy, reducing operational energy. They're pushing at lots of hot topics, current topics, to deliver the best of dwelling design in the UK. But because of the way the wording of the policy is structured, I do think it calls into question whether innovation is technically actually required. That goes back to why I treat it as a spiritual and. I think the spirit of the policy is that schemes are looking to be truly outstanding and innovative in their nature of design. But I think it's important to just bear in mind what innovation means and how much weight could be given to it in relation to the OR and reflecting the highest standards in architecture. A little bit of a technical study into that first test, but hopefully helpful. If you want to subscribe to our channel and hear some more videos, click here. And if you want to click into the next one, well, hopefully look at another aspect of one of the tests of the policy, click over there. And hopefully you're finding them helpful. If there are any other topics you'd like me to talk about, get in touch. If you've got a site you'd like us to look at, get in touch and we'll see if we can help. Thank you very much.